This is Audible.
Audible Originals presents Mistletoe Murders 2, written by Ken Kupris, performed by Kobe Smulders as Emily, Raymond Ablack as Sam, Anna Cathcart as Violet, joined by an ensemble cast. Mistletoe Murders Part 1, Sparks.
Another blissfully average day in the store under the mistletoe dedicated to all things Christmas year-round, followed by another quiet evening at home with a glass of wine and a good mystery book. That's been my routine for the past 10 months and 14 days since, well, to use a less than eloquent turn of phrase, shit went down. Hello, boys. Yeah. Come get some love. Come here. Come here. My two feline fur babies, Mosley and Doyle, are the perfect companions for my self-imposed exile. Although our conversations can get a little one-sided. Which, I suppose, is why I've taken to running old conversations in my head. One in particular, really. The last meaningful one I had with Detective Constable Sam Wilner in quite some time. It was 2 days after he discovered that I, the woman he knew as Emily Lane, didn't actually exist prior to my arrival in Fletcher's Grove a few years ago. And Sam, well, let's just say he didn't take it so well.
You're really not gonna tell me your name?
It's Emily. Emily Lane.
I mean your real name.
It's real to me. Why is this so important to you, Sam?
Because I thought I knew you.
You do. This is me, regardless of who or what I used to be. The person I am now, standing here in front of you, is me. Emily.
That's not good enough.
Look, I understand you are upset, but that doesn't mean you get to walk into my store and tell me what is and isn't good enough for you.
Oh, you'd prefer to do this at the station?
I prefer not to do it at all. At least not until you're ready to approach this with an open mind.
An open mind? You lied to me.
What I told you is that I didn't like to talk about my past, and that was true.
No, the truth is that Emily Lane has no past, because Emily Lane is an invention, a construct, a lie.
You don't understand.
Then explain it to me.
It is complicated.
Give me a little credit. I'm a police investigator. I know the RCMP is aware of your situation, which means the government provided you with a new identity. What I'd like to know is why.
And what I'd like is for you to understand I'm not in a position to share that information.
I let myself get close to you, closer than I've been to anyone since my wife left. My daughter works at your store. She adores you. And for all I know, you're a criminal who cut a sweetheart deal to save yourself from prosecution.
I'm not a criminal, okay? I can give you that much.
Oh, how reassuring.
This is exactly why I was worried about getting too close to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I stepping over a line, wondering if the woman I care about a lot poses a danger to my daughter?
I'm not a danger to Violet.
And if whoever you're hiding from finds you here, is she safe then?
Who says I'm hiding from anyone?
Answer the question. Can you guarantee that Violet is safe around you?
Almost certainly.
Almost doesn't cut it.
Sam, if I could let you in, I would. I know it's unfair, and it hurts me to keep secrets from you, but who I was before I came here, that person is dead and buried, and nothing good will come from digging up the past. I need you to trust me on this.
Trust has to flow both ways, or it doesn't flow at all.
And that's where we left it all those months ago. We're still cordial when we bump into each other on the street, but Sam's feelings for me, that connection, that spark, has been diminished in the absence of trust. And that wasn't the only fallout. Sam felt that under the circumstances he wasn't comfortable with his daughter Violet continuing to work part-time at the Mistletoe. I don't blame him for that. He's fiercely protective of her. It's a trait I admire about him. Shh, it's okay, Doyle. Mama's got you. The approaching fire truck sirens are making my boys nervous and making me curious. From the front window of my upper floor apartment located above my store, I can see a dark smoke cloud billowing up from the main square in town. Leave it be, Emily. Drink your wine, cuddle your babies,